doing?
I'm just contemplating my next move.
Your bishop is exposed.
It's these pants. I usually wear a fuller cut.
Leslie Nielsen is back on the case in Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult, the latest in the very funny comedy series, and we'll be reviewing it this week on Siskel and Ebert, along with new films by directors Roman Polanski and Ron Howard, working with the stars as Michael Keaton, Glenn Close, and Marissa Tomei. I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. While I was watching Naked Gun 33 1/3, a thought occurred to me, which I'm not sure is supposed to happen during a Naked Gun movie, but all the same, it did occur to me that Leslie Nielsen is actually very good at what he does in these movies. Look closely at him in this scene, for example. He's retiring from the police squad, and they are honoring him with a little party. Now watch the subtle way he handles the line about the handcuffs as a throwaway.
I officially give you my gun. And my badge. And Jane and I would like to keep the handcuffs as a souvenir.
And now look at this scene where Nielsen has gone into prison undercover to spy on a terrorist played by Fred Ward. The consistent thing about Nielsen's character, Lieutenant Frank Drebin, is that he always has tunnel vision. He can never see the big picture, only the little one right in front of him.
You call this flop? Real flop has got chunks of things in it.
This is more like gruel. And this Chateau LeBlanc 68 is supposed to be served slightly chilled. This is room temperature. What do you think we are? Animals? What are we?
Homo sapien?
Right.
The movie, like all the airplane-style spoof films, goes for wall-to-wall jokes, and a lot of them are very funny, like this one about the department's Hall of Fame.
This is really great. Thank you, guys.
The movie story involves a terrorist plot against the Oscar ceremony. Here, the lieutenant and his new bride, played by Priscilla Presley, speculate on what might happen during the award.
Look, I'm the good guy. I can't let the bad guys win. Our children can't be raised in fear. Don't you see? If we can't stop them, they're going to blow that place sky high. It'll be a tragedy. Unless, of course, it happens during a dance number.
And you know, it's funny, Gene, that even the producers of Naked Gun know that the audience in the theaters are going to know how bad the dance numbers are on the Oscar cast every year. I laughed a lot during Naked Gun 33 1/3, especially during an opening sequence that takes off on Battleship Potemkin and The Untouchables simultaneously. I didn't like the second Naked Gun movie so much, but I did like this one, especially for the way Leslie Nielsen stands there completely unflappable in the middle of total chaos, micromanaging all the tiniest details while completely missing the big picture.
Well, you know, it's funny you mentioned that you thought of Leslie Nielsen during this picture. I did too, and in my newspaper review I said the same thing, that this guy isn't getting enough credit for what he does in being the straight man for these very funny jokes. And they're written, just to comment again on what you said about the dance number gag line there, they're writing smart. They assume that we'll get the jokes. They throw so many at us that if you get half of them, you're going to have a very good time.
But also, you know, acting is just as hard if it's in a comedy as if it's in a tragedy. It may be harder. And if he were to give the slightest hint that he was in on the joke, if he were to try to push it a little bit, or to make sure that we got it, it would fall flat. It is his complete blankness in the face of the most appalling things that happen to him and are done by him that make it so funny.
An ego could have been created through these pictures. He's a bigger star than he was before the series started. So in some way, there would be a natural impulse to, you know, I get what's going on. He never succumbs to that.
He's very good.
Okay, next movie.